Aloha friend. Today I'd like to tell you about my Oura Ring. So this is it. It doubles as my wedding ring and a sleep tracker. This is how you know I've got a really cool wife, that she's cool with that. It is sized, so you have to know your ring size before you get it. I'm a guy, I don't wear rings, so I didn't even know my ring size before I got this. But they sent me a ring sizer sample packet, which was kind of nice. So I got to try them all on. Word to the wise, if you are a human who doesn't wear rings and you start wearing them, when you're cold, your hands do get smaller. So this doesn't fit quite as well when I'm on the East Coast as it does in Maui. And when I'm here, it doesn't fit when I've been in the well, at least it stays on, but it's looser when I've been in the water a lot, cold. So fun facts to know and tell. Fingers get smaller when they get colder. What this tracks is a bunch of things. The thing I mainly use it for is my deep sleep. That's the thing that I think I've been programmed to think is not most important, but is just, it's a metric I can track that pretty predictably with me, if my deep sleep is high, I'm feeling good and energetic. If it's low, I'm feeling foggy. So this is why I have it. The other things, can't see that. The other things it tracks as a trend is your bedtime, deep sleep, like I mentioned, latency, that's how long it takes you to fall asleep. I am an international sleep champion, so I fall asleep really fast. I always have. And it almost counts that as a not good thing against me, that I could fall asleep in 1 or 2 minutes. But I mean, Jackie would say it's probably happening faster than that. Sometimes I can just hit the pillow and be out. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like that is affecting anything else in the rest of my health. It tracks your REM cycles, your efficiency, time in bed, sleep time, like how long you're asleep versus just the amount that you're laying down in the bed, and then wake up time. And if you know from the work of Dr. Matthew Walker, he suggests that if you don't always have consistency in your life, try and keep your waking time consistent, even if you're going to bedtime is not so consistent. In my journey, I have experimented a little bit with my sleep cycles. Now, a sleep cycle, as I understand it, is approximately 90 minutes. And you also want to give yourself 15 minutes to get settled and fall asleep. So I typically try and get into bed with some interval of 90 minutes and then 15 minutes plus that. For example, 4 sleep cycles would be 6 hours. So if I were planning my sleep time, I would plan it for 6 hours and 15 minutes, just for a little wind down and then falling asleep time. 7.5 hours would be 5 sleep cycles. So I would do it for 7 hours, 45 minutes. 9 hours would be 6 cycles, and I would do that for 9 hours, 15 minutes. What I've found recently is that I can get as much, or I have been recently, I've been experimenting with it. I'm a human experiment. I was doing 6 sleep cycles with 15 minutes, which is 9 hours, 15 minutes in bed. And that was cool. And I said, self, I'm gonna get more done in this world. And I don't live by the I'll sleep when I'm dead motto, but I did think maybe you could take a sleep cycle off of there. So I've been doing 5 sleep cycles, so 7.5 hours plus the 15 minutes, going to bed at approximately like 9 o'clock, and then waking up at 4:45. And I've been getting just as much deep sleep, according to Oura, as I had been with the 9, and which I don't know how it's possible. I don't know how or why, but it's what it's saying. Maybe it's because I'm falling asleep in a way and I'm going into deep sleep faster. I'm not quite sure. But I'm experimenting with that. So if I do a follow-up to this, it'll be how my experiment with 5 sleep cycles worked against the 6. I don't think I'll go shorter than that. I'm not trying to win any medals for getting the least amount of sleep. When we were just on our little staycation last weekend, I slept for 12 hours straight from that Friday to Saturday, around 9 to 9, and it was awesome. And I feel like my body could actually do that quite often. Never had a sleep study. I don't know if I should be concerned by that. And I don't think I'll ever do an experiment where I just sleep as late as I can each day, because there's something about my body that likes to be asleep. Dreams, maybe. Maybe I'm in a good place when I'm there. I can't ever remember them as vividly as I want to. But if you were looking to track another trend, I'd say this could be valuable. The detractors of sleep trackers, whether I've got an Apple Watch, not on me, of an Apple Watch, of a Garmin, a Whoop strap, they'll say that it's not as precise as a sleep study is, and I would say probably, EKGs and all the things you could be hooked up to. But from what I've read, the data that you're receiving is consistent with itself. So if any measure got better or worse or the same, it is essentially you being better or worse or the same. Versus a sleep study, you're in a new weird place with wires all over you, knowing that you're being studied in that way. And I think results might be a little bit different, just knowing that. And the other thing I will say, speaking of knowing that you're being studied, is I had to be very mindful not to get too caught up or obsessed about my sleep. We treasure what we measure, right? So I did get a little rigid for a while, and then I just realized this is a tool in the toolbox. I'm excited to have this information. It's not the be-all, end-all. And that helped me be a little bit more chill around it. Because if you can imagine having the goal of like good sleep and getting to bed by 9 or 9:15 or 10 or whatever it is, and then having anxiety because you weren't going to get to sleep on time, that would cause you bad night's sleep. So you don't want to, reverse the effects of why you got the tool in the first place. Another interesting thing that I've realized is, and I wish it weren't so, the trend of when I drink alcohol, I get much less deep sleep. And this is like 1 or 2 cocktails or 1 or 2 glasses of wine with not much frequency in between, long spaces in between. But yeah, those mornings where I wake up afterwards, I can, no matter how I feel, my ring is telling me that I slept worse that day. So I thought that was interesting. A little sad. I thought 1 or 2 would be okay, but I don't let it shake me too much. That's more for celebrations, not a lifestyle. But it makes you wonder, the longevity crowd saying that a glass of wine per day is good for your heart. What if it was good for your heart, but not good for your brain and your recovery? I don't know that that's true or not true, but just some stimulating thoughts that I was having after seeing the pretty consistent results of alcohol on my sleep. So I hope that is not too thorough. I hope it's just thorough enough. And it's got a really cool app that its interface lets me see everything. I don't think I'll add anything about that. It's intuitive. It's nice. It refreshes when you wake up in the morning and open the app. It hooks up by Bluetooth and it charges on my bedside. Anyway, those are the last things I wanted to tell you. Hope that's not too much. Hope that is just right. And I also hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks, friend.